What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the Show. As you already know, I am a brand ambassador of Urban Boulevard.us is the website, so go there and find out why they are one of the fastest chaining, moving, crazy, incredible apparel lines out right now. Go find them on social media at urban.co and look at all amazing streetwear they got, and also .us is the website. So if you use the if you go to the website, I should say, and you use the code Brandon.30, Brandon.30 for 30% off your purchase, you will get 30% off your purchase. I'm pretty sure you probably will get 30% off of your purchase. So go there, urban.us, and I hope you guys enjoy that. And let's get it going. All right, this is the last episode of season 5. I still got an episode to record, but that's neither here nor there. And I might record that tonight, actually, depending on how I feel. Last episode I just did though, on episode 42, and I want to record episode 42, or maybe I might name this 43, and this might be 44. Um, but man, I said a lot in that last episode to 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 feel to get to this point. Um, I started this season, and for the first time I've always themed my seasons, but this was the first time I outright said a theme for the season, and I named it Deep Dive Season. Um, the reason why I named it Deep Dive Season is because um, I wanted to see if I could sink or swim. I wanted to see where particularly I was when it comes to my creative space. Um, and like everything in my podcast, I do for my podcast, I should say, it also helps me grow as a person. And so I named it Deep Dive Season. I wanted to see if I could sink or swim in this podcast world, particularly um, when it comes to creativity and pushing myself to get to um, certain positions in this podcast world without the handouts or the advertising or the product placement shit like that. If I could just do it on my own. Well, not on my own, but I'll talk about that later. Because my family, of course, helps me out like always. Shout out to DC for the shit. Shout out to Chris, Bird's Eye View. Shout out to Meet the Tylers, Kim and Nelson. Shout out to my TDs, Miss Queen, Pillow Talk with the T. Shout out to my TD, Cherise, Grown Ass Folk, and of course, like always, my brother RSA, of course. Um, but I wanted to create um, something this season that I felt and I deemed that was going to be my sink or swim moment in this podcast. I was like, man, because what is people always say? Things come in threes, right? Good things come in threes. Uh, and the season 3 kicks off in September. And I wanted to do this particularly at the end of season 2, which my second year as a podcaster, going into season 6, which will actually inadvertently be my third year podcast, I should say. My third year podcast will actually be inadvertently season 6. And you're probably asking, why would you not wait to do deep dive season for season 3 if 3 is actually supposed to be a good luck number? And excuse me. The reason why I wanted to wait, the reason why I did it this year of my podcast, because when I started, at the end of season 4, um, I felt displaced. I'm gonna be honest. Creatively, I was in a good space. But okay, let me say it like this. I had an analogy. I was in the shower and I was, that's how I kind of brainstorm certain shit. And I was like, my podcast is like a baby. You know what I'm saying? My podcast is my baby. You know what I'm saying? Brand new show. That's me. That's all that I am. And everything I've done is branched off and doing other shit. Um, but the Brand New Show, that is the solid thing. That is the legs. That is the fucking body. That is what everything moves off of. If it doesn't move, if Brand New Show doesn't have the same moniker, I could do all these other split shows, do all these other things. The Brand New Show is the main thing that I need people to always remember. That's kind of how I look at it. And by the end of last season, I didn't see the point of doing a solo episode ever. I didn't see the point of it. I didn't. I didn't see the point of it. Because I felt stale. I felt I felt like it didn't make any sense to do one. I felt like I see the reactions people give me when I do like the top 10 list with my family. And so I felt like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to do those. I want to do those episodes. And and yeah, I got tired of solo episodes. I got tired of me. I got tired of talking about the same shit over and over again. I got tired of it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that shit no more. And this is why, he's my brother. Honestly, it's like, man, I fuck with the top 10 list. I love that shit. I love when you do other shit. But when you do the solo episodes, those are the ones I look forward to the most. And for him to say that to me, I was like, I guess. But you know me, if you don't know, I don't take compliments well. So I'm like, I guess, okay, yeah, sure. and and as the season has progressed, life has taken over, like it should. So certain times we can't do top 10 lists because either certain people can't come that day, they're working, or they got family life, or they got life. They have a life. Let's just say it like that. They have a life. Um, so I can't do a list that night. What do I do? Do I just throw the whole week away? Because Tuesdays kind of start my next week for podcast. And what if it isn't there? So I had to find a way to get back to that mindset of creating again. What do I know how to do? And this is why deep dive season was so important because as much as I was tired of hearing myself talk about the same shit, there's new things I could talk about inadvertently talking about myself. At the end of this season, I created two new series that will be very highly prompted into season 6. I created Brand New Show, Life and Times with Music, which is the other episode I gotta record, and it's coming soon. And I might record that shit tonight, depending on what happens. So be on the lookout for that one. Uh, uh, and Brand New Show, Wrestling Life. And man, um, and the city responses I've been getting for that is crazy. And this is why I'm a little bit um so and let me break you back. So Wrestling Life and Life at Times with Music. Those are the next two series of the Brand New Show. And I also created a new show with my family again, The Panel, which I hope we can do more of going into season 6. And man, um, but That's the thing. So in the wake of maybe not having a chance to do Tuesday nights and do all these things with people, and then me getting sick during the summer, my body was shut down on certain days. Just like my body was completely just shut the fuck down, and I was sick. Um, because the weather would change and just yeah. And so I couldn't do Tuesdays. And whenever I did have the time, I know people got their own shows and they got their real lives to actually deal with. So what do I do? How do I create? How do I push? And yeah, man, I think that creating new series have actually helped me find a new meaning to do podcasts. I've always said this, and I will always say this. I started doing podcasts to not talk about myself, but talk about myself, my musical tastes, my sports intake, my sports takes, um, everything, man. I just wanted to not invert. I did not want to talk personally about myself, and it went completely left so fast. Oh my god, it went so fast, so fucking. And it's crazy that it took me having to physically sit down and create new series to get back to the mindset of I enjoy doing shit by myself again. And don't get it twisted. If my family hit me up right now and be like, "What we doing tonight? Come through and do the panel. Let's do this." But if they can't, that's cool. I understand. The reason why this season was so intriguing to me and difficult, and I can honestly say probably one of my favorite seasons I've done as a podcaster is because I had to push myself. Something I said in the first episode of this season. I have to push myself. I have to figure out how to get the most out of me to say I am a podcaster. Am I going to continue to play around or am I going to physically really do this shit? Which is one of the reasons I named it also Deep Dive Season. And I said just on my last episode, I just recorded that there's certain things about me now when I first like early last year, I was so eager and I was so happy to just do shit with people, and I'm shocked people knew who the fuck I was, and they were telling people I was the next this, and it was fun. And then you get out of the honeymoon stage. You get out of that honeymoon stage with that shit, and you start to really break down how shit is moving, and you start to like take certain things, and you're like, okay, I don't find it all that cool to do anymore. And you get out of that and you figure it out as you continue to push yourself and you start to realize like hold on, like I can move without that, huh? And the one thing about podcasting is that everybody wants to be in one lane together. That I've realized everybody's in the same lane, and there's certain people that are not. Like there's certain podcasters that don't talk about the same shit over and over again. And for those podcasters, shout out to Break Night Life. Shout out to J Squad Podcast. Go follow them and go follow Break Night Life. There's certain podcasters that don't always talk about the same shit. And for that, and last talk show, go follow him. His shit is fucking hilarious. But it's hard, and also the real Jock Johnson, my family. It's because of that, man. You gotta find other elements to life. You gotta find other elements to this podcast because if you talk about the same shit over and over again, eventually that's all you're gonna get the results of. It's like, okay, yeah, okay. What else do you talk about? Like, what else do you talk about? And I never want to be in that box because once you get stuck in that box, that's the box you win because you know that's always your comfort zone. I don't want to feel comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable. I hate that shit. When you get comfortable, you get relaxed, and you get too fucking confident in yourself, and you're like, oh, I can always do that. I can always throw back that episode. I can put that shit out. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to do lives where, you know what I mean, like Instagram lives. I want to do lives. Like I want to do shit like that. It happened. It happened, but I have enough time to think about it, reframe it, and then throw it out there. Like, okay, that was cool. Like last night, wrestling, which is wrestling life. That episode, I might not even do it for season 5. Like I might do a live for that, like a Instagram live, which I don't want to do, but I might have to because I don't want to record any more episodes for season 5. But and I already recorded the last Wrestler Life episode for season 5 already. I recorded that Saturday, so I feel like that's the thing. And I said this on this last episode. It's like once you start to move and you start to create your own shit and you start to, it's just like everything in life. Once you start to move out of the particular box or whatever the hell people have put you in, and you're not moving with certain people anymore, you're not moving like people are moving, they see it and they're like, I want to do that. I like that. I like what you're doing. Can I do that with you? And back then, yeah, of course. Come on, let's do it. Now? No. Fuck no. It's like, nah, I'm good. Like, and that's the thing. Like in real life and even in a podcast, like you gotta be selfish. You gotta be selfish. You gotta be selfish. You gotta find that place of where you don't want to work with certain people. You have to find it, and it's not because you're trying to be an asshole. It's because this is mine. I know exactly what I want to do with this. This is fucking mine. Stop hitting me up and asking me to do shit because I don't want to do shit. Because I've created something new and I want to push it and I want to see if it actually will flourish. And if it doesn't, then you do it and you flourish it. Great. But I don't want to. My thing is this. And again, like I said, it's the Brandon Janeau show. That is the key to all of this shit. Because at the end of the day, if the rest of life podcast don't work, guess what the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let that shit go and I'm gonna move on to the next fucking thing I want to do. If the lifetime with music doesn't work, I fuck it. Then it don't work. I just continue to do top 10 lists with people or do a panel on it. But it's ironic because YouTube, I guess I got enough followers now, so they're letting me create shorts. Let me upload shorts of the episodes I'm doing. And because I clip shit, but I also do that on YouTube. And so the last couple of shorts I've actually physically done and I put out there have been the wrestling, and then I got an episode dropping tonight where it's life and times with music, and I did a whole episode on Drake, and the whole episode's about Drake and his discography, every album he's ever put out, every song he's ever put out, everything he's ever done since he's been pretty much mainstream. And to see, like the first one I did Sunday. Yeah, I did it Sunday. And I put it out and I said, Take Care Era was different. That was the title. Take Care Era was different. To literally put it on there and just see. That was a minute clip. It wasn't even long. It was just a minute clip to see how fast it, like I kid you not. Like I literally put it out there in like 30 minutes. The shit got over 100 views. It's a minute clip. It's not even that long. It's a minute short. It's not even long. But to see that, for me, that shit still gets me excited. Like, wow, like holy shit. Like, and here's the thing, it's not people that even subscribe to my shit. So they're just randomly bumping into it and like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Okay, let me check what this shit is. Click it, and they are watching it. And it's like, hmm, okay. And I've done it recently. I've done it with the Brock Lesnar. I did a Wrestling Life episode and I clipped it and it was about SummerSlam. And I did a Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns clip and I posted it and it did 89 views. And it's like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool. And that's the thing. That is what this season has been. It's been clearly I got something to say. Clearly it has worked and clearly it is. But how do I expand on it? How do I create? How do I push myself? Which is why season 6, if this was fun, season 6 should be just as fun because my theme for season 6 is me. Like everything I do, it's Brandon Janu show, right? But the theme is me. Brandon versus Jeremiah versus Janu. I did a video, first video I think I've ever done, where I talked about myself in a third person. Pretty well, 5 people. um, um, yeah, third person kind of. But I said that I'm Brandon. The Brandon is the nice, and he's the nice guy. You know, he wants to always give you a good perspective. He wants to listen to your problems. He has a big heart. He cares. Jeremiah, which is my middle name, don't give a fuck. Don't care. Cut your fucking heart out and eat it raw if he has to. Burn your fucking house down with everybody in it. Could care less. Don't care. Doesn't have a heart. Care less. He's the one that holds a lot of the grudges. He's the one that remembers everything people done to him. He remembers. He remembers. No, don't get it twisted. He remembers. And then Janu is where I hope I could get to one day, where he's a true. I think I see more and more Janu in the mirror as I look in the mirror now, where he's trying to even out both. Where it's not particular all Brandon and it's not all particular Jeremiah, because I think I need a good and a bad. When you go into certain situations, you need a good and a bad side. You don't need to always be nice and you don't always need to be an asshole, but you need a little bit of both. You need a equal amount of both. And that's kind of what I look at it as. And that's what season 6 is going to be about. It's literally just that. It's literally me tearing down both layers, all 3 layers of that, and seeing who am I truly at? Where am I at right now? At 28. By the time I finish that season, I'll be 29. Where am I going to be in a year? When I turn 29, I'll be, like, where am I going to be? Am I always going to be reaching and trying and pulling and always not feeling like fuck the world? Is that Brandon more in me now? Or is it Jeremiah? Like, Jeremiah is where it's just like, fuck everybody and everything they talk about. I don't care about nobody. Fuck them all. Is it Jeremiah? Or is it Janu? Does Janu finally went out and finally say, you know what, man, they have come to an agreement that neither one of these men can live being just one particular thing. They need both to drive me, create that passion, but to also know this is the only thing you got. So you better hold on to it tight. And that's what brings me to the end of season 5. The conclusion of Deep Dive season is, I said this on the last episode, and this is what I feel. I started Deep Dive season because I wanted to see if I could sink and swim in the podcast world. Is it time for me to sink or swim? And I said this on the last episode, and I said it here. I don't want a life raft. I want to swim. I want to swim to the boat, get on the boat, dry myself off, go sit my ass down, because I did. And it's kind of how I look at it, in a sense. Did I accomplish that this season? And the answer is no. I didn't. I didn't accomplish what I set out to accomplish in this season. I didn't. If that was the reason to see if I could sink or swim in this podcast world, or even in my real life, no, I didn't. I didn't. You're probably asking yourself, why would you say you didn't? You just said all these things. Why would you say you didn't? Because as much as that was the goal, I failed that goal. I did. But I'm a hard grade on myself. To you, you might think I passed with fine fucking colors. But to me, I'm a hard grade on myself. I didn't. Because there's so much more I could be doing. There's so many things I could be accomplishing. There's so many things I could push myself to do. And I just haven't felt like I've done it. There's times where I could have did hour episodes by myself, and I cut them short because I didn't want to feel like I was talking too much. The last couple episodes I physically have done have been hours long shows. Like the Drake episode is like an hour. The wrestling show I did on Saturday is like an hour by itself. Like it's like 67 minutes, so that's an hour and 7 minutes. The Drake episode is like 57 minutes. This episode I'll probably do later on tonight. It's gonna take a bit. It's gonna take a while because I got to talk about a full album of this artist. Like I gotta literally, even though compared to the music nowadays, it's a pretty short list. But the songs, I gotta talk about how I felt about the songs. I gotta talk about what it meant. I gotta talk about what it does. It still have impact in my life. That shit gonna take a bit. That shit gonna take a bit. So when you ask me, did I sing or swim in the podcast world? No. I feel like my biggest problem with me in the podcast world, or even in my real life, is I'm at where I want. I see where I'm going, but I still got shackles on me. There's still certain things that keep me kind of like I'm trying to move. I'm trying to get the fuck out of it, but there's certain things that still keep me in those shackles, in those situations. So when you ask me, well, have I sink or swim? No, I'm still stuck in certain aspects of my life, in podcast world and in the reality world. In my reality, no, I'm not. Is that a good thing? No, it's not. I can lie and say, yeah, it's a good thing because now I know what. No, it's not a good thing. I fucking don't like that. I think it's a fucking fucked up feeling to have that you feel like all of the positive shit you doing is for naught. It's a fucking not. And you feel like, God damn, like, what else can I do? I didn't sink, but I damn sure didn't learn how to swim either. I'm just in the fucking ocean with floaties on. Like, I'm just there. I'm just sitting there, like, I don't know, maybe. Like, the fuck? I don't know what to tell you. This season brought more questions than answers. And the beginning of the season, I said I wanted to have more answers than questions. And I have way more questions than I do answers. So no, I didn't succeed this season. All I did was build more levels of me to revolt and hate about myself. I cleared out a lot of situations that I talk about in my life, and that kind of gave me some peace, but not the peace that I need. And that's the thing. But like I said, I'm a hard grader on myself, as I should be, because I know better than anybody. This life ain't fair. If you still think that shit, then you haven't dealt with the life I've dealt with. And that's cool. That's understandable. I don't judge you, but don't look for me to give you sympathy either. Because I know damn well you ain't give me sympathy. It's Brandon Janeau Show. Peace.